intro music or some intro music and a video is something and shit flashing and popping and
Boom, 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 coming live.
yeah.
What's up, you guys? Marital Monday.
What's going on? Quiz the God.
God is aside.
Yes, there she
Okay.
go.
Let me just go ahead and do what I normally do.
Y'all look at my host, my co-host, y'all. Isn't she lovely? Look at her.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm.
So sweet. Thank you. Go ahead and make it public. And you need to get your musical typing going and help me out with this side because this side is the stressful side.
I mean, what you mean?
Um, Let me go live first.
I need to. I thought we was already live. What's going on?
Well, we're going public,
I'll be going public.
but
Ah,
we're not asking for any PPOs or
okay, guys. I don't
you
know what
know PPMs, shall I say?
private placement management. What that mean? I don't get it.
Memorandum. Go ahead, old boy, bad ass dude right there. Say what? How many black people know what a PPM means?
Not many.
How many of y'all know? What's up? Shame me. Shame me. But I give it up when it's time to give it up. Mad props. A PPM, by private placement memorandum, is an instrument that companies who are ready to go public on Wall Street, this instrument would allow them to ask for certain kind of funds that can be a 501, no, a 504, 505, and a 506. So they ask for certain tiers of money, up to like starting at like 500,000 to like 506 infinite, however much they can offer. So business 10/10. Anyways, we're talking about Marital Monday. What we wanted to discuss was when it's a cool time to talk real talk, not birds and the bees, but the real talk about love to adolescents who are about to get their heart broken into a million pieces. How do you prepare them?
Being in love.
you
Love.
know, Going back on some of those days, like how could have done this a little better and save my poor heart, my icebox that I've developed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. And we was talking about it earlier today, as you know, because it was just me and you talking about it. But
Okay.
oh, if you got kids, right? If you got kids, if you ever been a teenager, which I know you grown folk, y'all have been teenagers, you done had that teen love or that young love, and it was new to you, and you had all these expectations that was unreal that you seen in a Disney movie, that you might have heard about in the Bible, or that you might have heard, your auntie and your cousin or somebody talking about, or you imagine it to be like a certain way from a story or a song. Maybe it was a song that made you feel like, man, relationships are just and then you get into one, and then you like hate life, hating yourself, hating him, hating her. You can't sleep, breathe, eat. All that stuff. You know how it go. You know,
Yeah. You know, um, I think it's funny that a man's heart gets broken. I never thought y'all can have a broken heart, but it has been understood that it happens. Um,
bad too. Be hurt. You ready to kill. You ready to fight, die. You ready to die about that shit, man. Be ready to die about that heart, man. Shit hurt.
it happens. It happens, from what I understand, in those adolescent years, and then you guys get stuck for the rest of your life. What's up with that? For
Man,
real.
some
What could your mother have told you, or your father could have told you to stop your heart from being broken so badly and giving you a heads up on
man,
how it could be?
shit.
Because they always tell people they got to get married in order to have a healthy outcome on life.
Yeah. Sorry, let me move that light over a little bit. Yeah, shit, man, parents could do so much better at bringing their kids into having a healthy experience being in a relationship. Of course, they're gonna have a heartbreak. I think that everybody need a little heartbreak. You need something to help you get tougher. Um, but that there is these expectations that cause these painful paradigms, and inside these painful paradigms, you get trauma, you get trust issues, you get crazy, you get maybe suicide and mental issues.
Ooh.
Yeah, you get stalker issues. You get people that cling and don't know how to let go. You get all this with these painful paradigms before the paradigm actually could take shape. So if it can even formulate fully. So
Damn. I hate typing on this damn keyboard. I swear I do.
so I think it's good to tell your kid, hey, tell them about your relationship. Be real about it. Be as honest and transparent as possible. Be real. That's it. Mama could have told me, hey, actually, it ain't too much your mom probably can tell you because she
Because
about
sometimes when mothers get involved and them boys like, ooh, they be
she about halfway don't know what the heck she really want. And then she probably ain't been treated right neither. She can just tell you what she just don't like. And
they
you,
can
you
be wrong too.
yeah. It's like we got to figure out a way to talk to our kids. I know definitely it'd be best to start letting kids know that their expectations might be too high, and
Based on what society tells them to expect.
and to tell them also that you are not dating a robot, you are not dating a magical princess, you are not dating a magical prince, you are not dating a superhero, you are dating a human being,
Emotions.
and and they like acting like human beings and they like being treated like human beings, and you make sure you keep that in their mind so that they will be so naive to certain things. Also too, I think it's a good thing. I had showed my daughter like at your age, 16, 15, 17, your brain isn't fully developed. You cannot be accountable fully for what you're gonna do, because you're gonna make some bad thoughts. You're gonna make some bad decisions from your thoughts, and your
Yeah,
thoughts are not fully
develop.
thought out, developed. There we go, developed and thought out. So you're gonna have these half-ass thoughts, and you're gonna make decisions based on these thoughts. And so, with that being said, right now,
And also to interject, that's the most sensitive time for adolescents too, because they have a lot of suicidal thoughts and a lot of wild thoughts in that time frame. So it's best to like just even all the way up to like 21, 22, those from 16 or so sensitive. I had someone that cried to me about that, and they were hearing voices in their head. So to combine a relationship on top of that,
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
crazy. I had cut you off, but you can go ahead and I know you know where you left off. I know you know where you left off. Me, I'd be like,
It's just that you got to you got to make sure as they grow in the day that they can know who they are. Look, this is who you are. You are somebody that's developing. You are strictly having experiences. This is not for you to take so seriously where you're going to plan your whole life based off of the things that you're about to do and experience with this person that you are fond of, and you are fond of them, and you might love them, and you're supposed to love them. However, there needs to be things in order before you decide you will make a long-term decision and have your hopes way up here.
they get
Kids
broken into pieces. Kids.
Kids, they get broken into
Talk to us
pieces.
about that. Poor
Look,
baby.
let me tell you about my heartbreaking.
This boy had breast milk on your tongue.
Look, let me tell you, my daughter's mother broke my heart to smithereens. Let me tell
Oh
you.
man, talk about it.
Tell you about it. She about 3 years older than me. I was about 16, 15, 16. And she had just graduated, and out of nowhere, she just stopped taking my phone calls. And at that time, I used to always like before we was po growing up. I didn't have a house phone. I had to go to the payphone and call her.
Payphone. Damn, that sounds so long time ago.
Oh, nigga is old. That's fuck you talking.
Somebody gonna laugh at you when they tell you making me feel older. You cut it out, please.
Look, baby, nigga. Oh, so look, so it's like,
No.
so it's like, I had, I had, I had was called on. I remember it was like a time like tornadoes was around and everything going on around this time, and we had hung out all day one time, and I want to say like the next day or two, she just didn't answer my phone call. She didn't answer my phone call at all. And then I was like, damn, what the fuck going on? I'm sitting there calling her, leaving a message. I remember I was called, I sung a song on the answer machine and everything.
Wait, this was that song, Mr. Telephone.
All that shit, right? Like, damn, she didn't call me back. I'm going crazy. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I remember my mama changed my phone number, and I called her, and she answered. And I was like, hey. And she like, who is this? Like, it's me. This, and she just hung up. And man, we talking about somebody was just heartbroken, all ate up, just a heartbroken. Not that I was in love with her or nothing like that. I don't think. I think that the fact that that I couldn't communicate with her. It felt maybe right. It felt like it wasn't closure. Like I felt like I was. It wasn't. It was making me feel like I was being like I wasn't valuable. She wasn't validating my presence in her life. And as a teenager, I took it tough. I remember I didn't go to school for like 2 weeks. I probably didn't bathe. I remember I went and found my mama wine and I drank it, and I couldn't sleep. I got there. I couldn't eat for days. I didn't sleep good at all, and like it was just horrible.
And how old were you again?
I was about 15 or 16, and it sucked, and nobody talked to me about this type. Huh?
I want to know if anybody went through something like that before. Start drinking. Oh, wow, that's pretty young. Yeah. To even think that would soothe some kind of emotional pains. Wow.
Anyway, I never had a drink before that. I just was like, shit, let me hit it one time. And I remember, I think I full-fledged cried when I was drunk too, like just cried like a bitch around or some shit.
And to you, that's what it was.
Man, you talking about some painful shit, and you just not having realistic expectations. I think after a while, I think she finally me and her had talked or something like that, and I think she said because of our age difference, she didn't see it going nowhere, but she didn't communicate with me. And that's another thing too for the young ladies. A lot of young ladies are not being taught how to communicate, and they grown 30, 40, 50 years old, still don't know how to communicate. I'm talking about, I want to say in the last couple of days, I'm talking maybe like 3 or 4 women that I know just have hard time communicating with the men they talk to. Like this is something common. This ain't like a special. A lot of women just don't know how to communicate. Go ahead.
It's both. It's definitely both parties.
Yeah. But this the thing. For a young man, he would like if you would just come out right to him. So the thing is,
don't come for me.
Who is that? I can't see it. Just say Facebook user.
Oh shit. One of the people you talked to earlier in that time frame.
So
don't come for me.
So
feel bad. You're coming for me too, girlfriend.
So boom. I didn't say nothing. The thing is, for the ladies, communicating with the fellas could be so much easier. It's so much easier if you just would just say what it is that you want. That's because you need to just come out and just say it. He doesn't speak woman. He doesn't take hints. He rarely he can take hints. Rarely he can read body language. Rarely he's in tune with what you're thinking and feeling. He cannot read your mind. Listen.
But they a lot of times men don't take things the way it's supposed to. That's why a lot of people be misunderstood, you know. That's another thing too, talking about adolescents. They need to be ready to know that they're going to be misunderstood all throughout their life between
that's
that
why I'm saying when you come into young men at that age, like young men at that age should be just laying and slaying at that age, and he should be going to the next. I mean, at teenage, we would hope he would, if he is having sex safely, if he is laying and slaying, he need to be just moving on and moving forward. He should be just playing. He should be taking that serious. But if, in the case that he does find somebody he does like and he want to try to be for real for them or whatever it is, take them serious or be, whatever. To talk to him about some of the things some of the ways that women communicate without saying things, so he can pick up on it, and also too for the ladies, help them put words together that that could summarize what their feelings are and what they really want, and also too is let them know that they can give the young men goals in for the relationship. At that age, a young man just thinking about, I'm the man, I'm a macho man. He probably ain't thinking much of nothing. But it all depends what kind of man he has around him. This is so many variables right there. There's so many ways that a young man can be a man, because what he think is a man. You know what I'm saying? He might be.
Let me recap real quick about what we're talking about. We're talking about what parents, some of the things that parents can talk to their adolescents in those ages before they start gravitating to love, some of those expectations they had on relationships and how their heart got broken. How can you introduce that to your child so they don't go into a quick slap heartbreak and then they start growing up to have a cold heart? Because I hear a lot of guys say that my heart got broken when I was such and such, and then it just turned everything around for me. Men heart get broken earlier than females, and then they stay that way based on that heartbreak, in their adolescent years, from what I'm understanding. Mm-hmm. Trauma.
That's
trauma. And start somewhere around age 16, 17, because of one of them damn girls mess with their head.
You listen to them little young niggas rap songs?
Man, no.
But that old, me and my home, we ran a train on that bitch. On there, put the holes before the bros. They got my money over my bitch. Young niggas 19, 20, they ain't lived.
So yet. Obviously they're telling their story right there. So hey, we see what
it ain't just their story. It's culture. It's culture for their area. This is how they feel. And then guess what? If you love a girl and you want to do something right for her, you want to be nice to her, it's like, oh, you a simp, you a sucker now. You gonna let this bitch, this a bitch. You gonna goddamn let you gonna do you supposed to be a man. You supposed to be go out there fucking bitches. Fuck that bitch. Don't get that bitch your money. They be helping her out.
That's so heartbreaking. And at this point, it's kind of hard to penetrate those new minds unless you have a real close tab on your child. You can talk to them like that, but once they get engulfed with the rest of the culture, their minds just start to get warped, and it's like hard to grab that thing and be like, hold on, let me try to get you to understand something different, But if I had that understanding in my generations and generations before, I don't know if many people talked about this to their children, but I wish I did. I was.
You can. You talking about you wish you was talked to, is what you saying.
Talked to, Yeah, and there's a lot of parents that do talk to their children, but the question is, do they talk about the heartbreak part?
Do you, who's watching right now? Do y'all talk to y'all kids about anything about relationships, anything like that, more than just sex and safe sex, anything like that? Do you give them anything healthy other than
get married and live together after you get married, which is open the
door for her, or cook for him, or some shit like that?
Show them how to be.
Are you giving them something real? Because this is the thing. The parents are. I'm holding the parents accountable for allowing TV and rap music and books to shape the visual,
Music too,
the the music, the visuals on what a relationship should be
based on
for.
experience, huh?
So now they going into these relationships like, they get in this place, and then when something happens, they like, damn, that caught me off guard. But
Where they come
like, where it come from? And then of course you got to experience it, but it doesn't have to be so hard on them. If we could be more realistic
from?
about, and also teach them how to communicate, because this thing, if we could teach young ladies and young men how to talk to each other about what they feel and want, so then they can sit, and then also teach them to, hey, you guys need to sit down with people that you like and talk about, have a session of reflection, so that once they had that session of reflection, they saying to each other, in these last past couple weeks or this last past month that I've started liking you, this has kind of been going on. It's kind of been making me feel like this. I kind of really want this. And I don't know what you practice or what it is that you like or what it is, but I don't know if what that is going to be good for what I'm going doing right now. And then we could help them speak like this. The adults not even talking like this because they wasn't showed. But if we show you early, and then they say raise a child the way you want them to go. And trying to hit 23, 24,
straightforward. It's more straightforward, and at the same time, it'll cut out a lot of bullshit, in a relationship. It's just going straight to who. No, I don't. But there'll be a lot of people. I think it'll be people become cold-hearted or feel more cold-hearted. So a sprinkle of that is it's good, because you don't feel so cold-hearted. You know what I mean? That person may say, damn, this is a cold-hearted person. Who taught them how to be so cold-hearted? And it may intimidate the person who fall for that cold-hearted person while they're in a relationship, because they could be like, man, this person can just diss me at any point because they're so cold-hearted. So there has to be some kind of nice balance with being straight up to talk to someone and still making sure you are not so cold-hearted, not too far off, but you know what I mean?
Right. So that's why it's important that we teach them. It ain't about like being cold-hearted, but we want you to be transparent. Teach them to be transparent as possible. And it's not about, and also to be accountable. I think a lot of what we do, we point fingers. I think even like having a conversation with you, I think initially as a defense mechanism, you start pointing fingers, and I'm like, oh shit, hands up, I'm guilty. I'll be that. I'll go ahead and apologize, but we can get people to say,
who, me or me?
Yeah, you. Where's the point at you? So I'm like, I'll go ahead and apologize. I'll go ahead and apologize. But once we take the finger point out the equation, by me not being defensive, now we got to get down to the nitty gritty, and that's whatever it is that's bothering you, and what is it that you can be accountable for? What is it that you really want? What is it really that you expecting? And
don't be lecturing me, boo.
I'm not saying you. Now I'm just kind of just talking.
Okay, you make sure you let me know when you do that little turn. You make that right. Yeah, okay.
So now we have to learn how to be able to teach them to not speak speak in a way that's combative. You go ahead and express yourself, but express about what it is for you, and you play, and what role do you play in that? And then allow for the conversation to be open for that person to accept it, and also to take accountability for what they think they might have done, or whatever it is they want to take accountability for. I say for the men, you just take accountability for it all, and you can come back to the conversation later. Right now, you just let them emotions flow. For them, it's the emotional thing. But
even it's mainly like when it comes to those adolescents, they won't grasp as much, they won't grasp as much.
They won't, but we got to start teaching them how to practice it. My daughter, let me tell you, my daughter, who I'm telling you these things, I'm talking about the things that I do. My daughter, who I sat down, my daughter is a lesbian, 15 year, 15,
Why you putting that girl stuff out there? She a real
14, 15, as she let you know, and she's a stud, and she's been like this. And the
hey.
thing, she had a little girlfriend, and she wanted to tell her little girlfriend certain things. And before she was being like really mischievous, like kind of deceptive and stuff, I said, "Hey, look, that ain't cool. That what you doing right there? How you playing the game? And that ain't the way we're gonna be doing things. And you ain't gonna be around here
I'll break heart.
manipulating people and deceiving people. You need to be
Well,
trans."
what do you think she get that from though? Because that's probably learned behavior.
I can say it, but look, I don't want to be beefing with no baby mamas today. Look, listen, and then but
I ain't
well,
trying to start no problem. I'm just trying to
look,
find
I can say a
how
bunch,
we
but look, I'm gonna keep it to myself. So look, so boom, so for my daughter, you know,
somebody say her daddy.
nah, lies, all lies. I say Ariana.
I
I
tell
say
you, come to you.
lies,
Oh,
never say
shoot.
that. I said, look, we ain't gonna be doing that. So after that, I want to say about a month after that, I seen a change in my daughter's behavior because she had a real deep conversation with a girlfriend, and she told me what it was, and I was really proud of her because she was saying some shit grown folk don't even say. And
What
the
was
way
it?
that she
Okay.
expressed it, and
Trust.
the girl ain't had nothing to do but to respect that, and they had like they bond got stronger after that, and after that she was able to be very transparent about everything. I think even that it got to a point. I think she might have or her running with her feeling. I also talked to her too about her being a lady. She could be emotional, not to run on every emotion you got. Just let that sometimes you gotta let some of that shit chill, ladies. Let it sit for a second. Don't be so impulsive. Let it chill for a day or two, maybe in a week. Cause you don't mess around, break up with somebody like next week. Like, God damn, I done broke up with them. I ain't really mean that shit. I just was feeling like this. And she had a situation like that. And
Emotional stuff, emotional. Yeah. Women have a tendency of not knowing. No, I'm not going to say women. Young ladies, I can't speak for all because I don't, but that's an emotional thing we have we're trying to figure this thing out. So to be able to talk to our children, our daughters, and express that we need to cap that. That needs to be a healthy balance, and we can't let people just control our emotions and also acting fast, because we can be pretty spicy at sometimes,
nasty. And that's how
spontaneous.
man. I remember being 16 and one of my girlfriends, we was out at a theme park and she just went on an emotional tangent. That shit had me blow. I was like, "Where the fuck this shit come from? We having a good time." And
Here's a holistic tip for you.
now
Let
I'm
me
chasing her all around the damn theme park. I'm trying to beg and plead, like, "What's wrong?" She won't tell me. She walking away. She about there to hop in the cab and haul ass and
yeah. I'll just say, Will, that you saved me, Savage. First ask questions later. Yeah. But look, another part of it too could
that
be
UPP Savage first ask questions later. Savage
right,
first ask questions later. I
right.
want to before we go too far, let me go ahead and
Read
I want to
that.
read this. I think as parents, we're going to speak on our experiences. How can we teach them what a relationship looks like when we are still figuring that out for ourselves? And that's why that's why we have these. That's why you come to these conversations like this. You get in conversations like this with people that you trust. People that you see practicing healthy, harmonious communication, and you sit there and you learn, and you pick up a book, you give them the book too, and y'all learn together, and you also
Experience is the
know,
biggest deal, though. You know how you want to be treated. You know how you don't. Only if you're logical to yourself with reality. Like, some people are real off balance with their hormones, and they don't really know. They don't
that's
see. You know what I mean? They see
therapy, a book,
differently.
and a good mentor, a relationship, a life coach, something like that can help a lot. A lot of people just winging this thing, no help, no kind of nothing. Don't pick up a book. Last time, man, people don't really read for real, and they not, and if they do, they read like 1-2 books a year. how much information they missing. Like, and they not able to apply that. People done spent 50, 60 years of their life compiling great information that they want to bestow upon humanity. They do want to sell some books, but they want to help out. They hope that the book help.
True
And they
that.
hope that the book help because they want to sell more books, so they don't want to tell you no bullshit. So it's like it's so much of shit that it's so much development need to be done. We need to be constantly developing, and you also gotta let the kids know this is a constant practice, is a constant development. You have to be consistent. You don't get to be nice one time and think that the next couple months you can't come in that thing like Michael Jordan.
Take a person off on guard all the time because they're not sure which way, you know, you're gonna sway, or whatever the case is. You know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Adolescents are
Can't come in Michael Jordan and then slack off and turn into whoever whack on the court these days. You got a bunch of these whack ass dudes.
You know, what was I about to say? Darn it. Oh, with the women, when you were saying how women can be so, you know, emotional too, a lot has to do with estrogen as well, like overabundance of eating estrogen. You know, make women more catty and men. You know, and when I say estrogen, I say things like in regards to like soy products. You know, there's a lot of soy products in food, soy isolates, proteins, all kind of stuff. You probably understand. Oh, you probably find like maybe 5 soy products in a label, a pre-packaged label, and those can be people's favorite product, and they eat so much of it, and multiple products have tons of soy in it, so it can make more estrogen, produce more estrogen in the body. And if it's with a woman, she's going to be more estrogenated. If it's a man, he's going to have more estrogen versus his testosterone, you know.
Yeah, and it can make you moody, and it's a bunch of things that can affect the mood. That's why when we get in these relationships, we're charging each other with responsibility of helping us manage our emotions, emotional management, and we charging each other, and we don't even know it. And that's what it's all about. That's the whole point of you getting in a relationship. This makes me feel good. Hold me.
And when that love is over, it's like, wait, nobody told me about this part. And then we go with trauma and more trauma and trauma and trauma. And we still trying to figure it out because nobody told us about those childhood maturity days. Time to tweak the maturity, you know. That's kind of interesting because those are the most vulnerable days. That 16 to 21. They go through so much. We went through so much. I know I did, you know, and I have loved ones that was around that age calling me about issues like that in their head. You know,
Man.
so it's the best time to put
let me tell you,
logic in there instead about condoms and how to use them or STDs and stuff like that.
We need to talk to children about what to do when being cheated on. Look, first time I was cheated on, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure I was cheated on a bunch more times, but first time I was cheated on as a teenager though, and was like caught somebody cheating on me, and that I was in love with. Man, you talking about this chest I have right here was all caved in and stuff because the heart had crumbled and collapsed, and the lung collapsed around it and shit. I'm talking about I was so goddamn so fucked up, and I remember my cousin. I was like, damn, this girl done cheated on me. I like her so much. I like and love her so much. And now I got to leave her because she cheated on me because nobody told me. And my cousin, he was much older. He said, damn, man, you need to get rid of that. You need to get rid of that mutt. When he said this right, this was fucked me up. He said, you need to get rid of that mutt. Unless you're going to forgive her. And then when he said, what? What you laughing at? Well, because this is how we understand fellas, men. This how like especially like back in them days. This how you talk about a woman. You talk about a woman as if she's not some. You got to you. Anytime men talk about when we degrade them when we talk about them. Like, man, a woman taking advantage of me. Like, I ain't stupid. I ain't talking that thing, studying that bitch, that mutt, that whatever. We that hoe. We just talking like that because we like I ain't no simp. Ain't let no woman manipulate me, take advantage of my heart, my feelings, my money. Then I'm out here doing my thing. I got plenty of hoes, shit like that. So, I remember
Somebody say, "Pull that tank tank."
you a trick. So
I
so
can't see the username. Who's doing it? I can't see the username.
I can't see the name neither. It just say Facebook. So but I got a good idea who it is. But
Somebody messing with you on the other side.
right. So I remember though, my cousin as he said, you or unless you forgive her. I say, forgive her? Forgive her?
Is that the word?
I can forgive her?
Wow.
Oh wait,
Wow.
you said
That
I was
was
like,
heavy.
I was like, wait, I could forgive her? I was thinking this shit.
Right.
While we sitting out there, but look now, I can only say so much because now we out here on the dope scroll. Now we out here with the thugs and the gangsters. You
Oh wow.
you ain't
Oh
doing no,
wow. That's
you
a
ain't
real
doing
G right
the
there.
feeling. We out there talking thug talk. So it's like ain't no like the niggas like, man, let you forgive a dog. Shit, I'm like thinking like, damn, you can do that. So after consideration as we talked and we had this little thing on, I decided to forgive her, but man, do you know it was one of the hardest things to do because I could not trust her after that. I feel like everything she was doing, it was like this. Then I wanted to get back at her.
What if he said to you something more like, life presents itself and don't be broken because life is presenting itself. Take
I was
it,
I
you
was
know,
gonna
how could that could have affected you if something like that was said to you? If this person is not literally stepping on your heart purposefully and they love you, even though it was young, but still moving forward. What if he would have said something like that to you? How you think that would have made you feel in carrying on in life versus, feeling like women aren't shit, and they're cheaters, you know. How would that turn out nowadays if somebody was just to run into you like that?
nowadays. What you mean?
Mhm.
Like if somebody
Moving forward, after if he would have mentioned something like that to you,
well, these days I don't,
him,
for him, I
if
would
he would have said something like that.
for me, I'm always, I'm going around, I'm teaching and healing and doing all these kind of things. So it ain't I don't I'm just going ahead and just give them my perspective, so give them something to think about, reconsider. But yeah, at this point, that's like I said, that's immature shit. I'm pretty sure at this point, we're being grown ass men, which he was grown at the time, but he's growner. Um,
He probably takes relationships, for what it is. I mean, those are some wise things to say.
he was experienced at that time, but the thing was, you had so much you had so many men. I'm trying to tell you, it's the rap music, it's the men feeling like feeling played by the women and being embarrassed by the women. It's a different, women get embarrassed by men cheating on them, and I'm pretty sure they feel the same way, like it feels stupid and all that thing. But and the pride is hurting all these things here. When men have women and they step out on them, it represents a for the man, he is building like this reputation for himself, or this posture, this stature of building this kingdom, this thing.
Hefe type stuff.
Huh?
Hefe type stuff.
Right. So when you do, now you compromising his building, and then if his building is compromised, then he feel like his posture is compromised, and if his posture is compromised, then he feel like he's being like he might be seen as vulnerable, and that could cause some issues for him, and him handling his masculinity out in the public. So it's a really delicate, men kill about this shit here because it represents something so big for them is bigger than something emotional. It's not just about emotion. Um, it's
Ego,
it's a big
society.
it's a big ego blocks built on top of that, especially when if he's confiding in you, if he's put money into you, if y'all doing things together, if people see him with you, if you know and stuff like that, people know you now, and all of a sudden now you got an old boy, and now and then people know, and then now it's like it's like it's the same feeling emotions women go through, but it's more than emotions,
But
and
yeah, it's yeah.
it can be really dangerous.
And the question is like, because I've heard a few men say the trauma started in those teen years. It's like after that, there's no chance for any other woman with a clear path because that first trauma just isolated everything. Stopped a lot, with looking at a woman in reality. And in the same way a woman should look at a man in reality. The manipulation of what society tell you how things should be, and then people go on with being misunderstood, having lack of trust at the beginning of any relationship because of how it was set up at the beginning in those teen years. This is how you should think. This is how it should be. Meanwhile, they're adding more trauma. Our teachers is adding more trauma. Life is going to keep adding trauma because we keep having these expectations, from another human being. I don't ever think that any human being should has an expectation placed upon them because expectations are uncomfortable, for anybody that's not within their own space. And then now expectations get shortened and they're not met. And now somebody's heart has been broken. Somebody has less trust. Somebody has is being misunderstood more because of that beginning time frame in their life. You know what I mean? 16. I was taught by my uncle, fuck a bitch. I was taught by my mama, use a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And that's not right, And then when you can't have your way with that person, Heartbreak Hotel never closes its doors.
Yeah, and so that's why it's important though. Like again, we talking about the kids. For us to create realistic.
Somebody say yikes, no expectations. People get their heart broken with those things.
Yes.
People, what it's like. Pardon for a minute. It's like, what if somebody don't get something for you and then you're feeling like, and the reason why I say no expectations because unless you're going into some marriage, you're moving in together. I expect for you to pay your bills. I expect for you to do your part. I expect for you to not to, to do what you're supposed to do. And when people combine and get into relationships where they move in with each other, naturally they're like, I expect for you to keep your clothes, on you. You know what I mean? Those are those expectations they expect for you to do for them. Do for them. Do that's that combination. But firsthand, for people who are like, I'm dating, they place the expectations, fine. But then what happens when that person don't meet your expectations? Now you're moving on to the next. What if there's another expectation that the next person you placed on and then they don't meet it? Now you're moving to the next. When expectations are brought to minimum, you only expect from yourself, from my point of view. You expect from yourself, nobody don't have to do anything for you. Nobody, your heart doesn't get broken because you didn't expect for them to do it anyways. So it's like, I don't, you do what you do and that's fine. But if we are and there's different areas to, expectations, but placing them so much on somebody, it's setting you up for failure and somebody else up. Now, healthy relationships are all over the place, but a lot of them are not, and you can see that based on the statistics of divorce rates, and people who are not even in relationships. They place high expectations, and then 20 years go down the line, somebody's mad that they're not having their way at a whole,
Somebody said, "Preach, sis." You have a point. I think
Oh,
there's
y'all listening to me?
says you have a point. I think there's more disappointments when expectations are not clearly communicated.
Facts. Facts.
Preach, sis. Yeah.
Facts, and I'm only saying this because I don't like to speak for other people. I only like to speak from my perspective and then observe what other people talk to me about, or when I get in conversation with other people, it starts to make sense. So I feel that you have healthy relationships with anybody. And then when you do have a healthy relationship, people, they love you so much to the point where they're willing to do whatever it is to show you that they love you, and they will give because it's out of love, and you don't have to expect much from them. So that's why I'm coming with expectations. I think that if we were taught that earlier, more men would probably have a healthier mindset about women starting off in those adolescent years.
I
Maybe.
remember one of my OGs say, man, he said, man, when I was a jit, my mama told me never trust a woman.
You see what I mean? Bullshit. It wasn't like me. It's like, come on now.
And hold on. And man, he had it bad. His mama, they was from the hood, from the projects, and
Somebody
mama.
say what
Mama,
you got
what
to
you got to say, Quiz? We have expectations for people that we have for ourselves. Well, first, let me go ahead and answer this right here. She said, I'm assuming this is the same person. Say, I need more details. How did you catch her cheating? Um, my cousin had done told me, man. He say, man, uh, one of the niggas that he used to be slanging dope with, um, I guess apparently he pulled up to the scroll where we sell dope at, and
used to.
it was I was a kid, 15,
I thought,
16 years old,
because
and she was in the passenger side of the car. She was in the passenger side of the car, and he was like, "I know you from somewhere." And I had done already brought her around because I remember I had done came up one time, posted for a little bit. I had her around while I was trying to hustle up a little money to take her to the movies. So he had knew who she was. So so anyway, so then that's how I called it. Let's clear it up. So yeah, that's how I kind of caught her. And he was like, man, I seen that. Then my other cousin, he was like, man, Charlie Thompson, he got an angel, and he talking about your girl. I'm like, what? And so so this is it's so crazy because it's like I was like I had met him. I knew the dude. I had knew him. So me and him had already met before a year or two before because he was a rapper and I had beats and stuff like that. And we had knew of each other, but yeah, that's how that I didn't mean to say his name, but yeah, rest in peace. He had passed away a couple years ago from my understanding, but yeah, and it was like I had spoke with him on the phone, and he was like, man, what's up, man? He was like, I was like, man, what's up, man? You such and such with my girl, da da da. And I wouldn't just spilling like just being transparent. Yo, me and her such and such and such. He was like, man, he said, you know what, bro? You a real dude, man. You a real. He said, man, you a real ass nigga, bro. And I'm just keep it real with you. Yeah, I've been fucking with her, but I ain't know y'all was together. She ain't told me she even had no boyfriend. And I'm blowed right now. He was like, I just had to, what I'm saying? I was acting like I act like I ain't, he said, I act like I ain't know it first because niggas be on crazy shit, be acting crazy. I like, yeah, that's real. And so what we did was we called on three-way. Well, and I told him to be quiet, and I asked her about him. And she was like, oh, man, this nigga ugly. Oh, this nigga this nigga that. Oh, no, right?
Wow.
Never that, And then I got the phone with her, and he was like, man, see, I knew she was going to be like that. Because I thought that she didn't really think I would look good. And shit. He was kind of sad. He was sad. You know what I'm saying? She had told him she ain't had nothing. You know, she wasn't real. She kept it real with him. But you know, she told me after that she never cheated on nobody ever again in her life because she said she was the way that she see how much it hurt me. She could say she could never do that to a person ever again. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I believe her too. She ain't lying.
He
She
said,
ain't
"Oh,
lying.
dirty."
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. That's the
That's
start
how
of
that happened. But let me see what else I want.
romance. And you
We have
start talking about her.
what you
Hmm?
got to say, quiz. She said, "What you got to say, quiz?" This we have a high expectations of people that we have for us. So that this is so having high. It's one thing to have the expectations, but what are you basing those? Because you got to base expectations on something, and this is why we talk about the kids. Because if we let the kids create their expectations around Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, rap music, ballads, shit that they see their teachers talking about, the shit that they classmates talking about, this is where the problem comes in at. So that's why if we teach our kids to be more transparent, be real about who you are. Don't let people bully you and don't come up with these fake facades. Don't come up with these facades on what you are, who you are, what you think you are, and in the situation. Be realistic. So that you're always living in your truth. And so that when you're speaking, somebody either accept you or they don't. So we can be more pragmatic about our expectations, so we can optimize the harmony in our relations.
And it really does optimize harmonious relations, when a lot of stuff has been minimized and readjusted, because I tell you, they start that bullshit off early with those damn songs, those commercials, those lock-ins with marriages, all that stuff. I mean, it's like, it's cool to be married, it's fine, but them expectations, I mean, you can be married to somebody for a long time, but when I think of marriage, I think of long, you went out there, you're all the way through, you know what I mean? But who knows when? Because once again, if something goes wrong, if one expectation goes wrong, it's over. It's over, you know. And people don't know how to handle that. People don't know how to handle and move on. Some people do, because that's how they get to 60 years. But yeah. But anyways,
Yep.
so
Mhm.
um
And so, you know, with moving forward, if with the kids, teach them to accept who they are first. Once they do that, they can start being they could be realistic, pragmatic about the people that they're versing, the people that they're
wow.
challenging, the people that they're trying to find companionship in. Let's do that first. Who are you? What are you? What do you want? And it's important. I think we start early with the girls with that, because you got grown women right now in their 30s. They like, I don't know what I want.
You have women that's
Adult.
older
And
than
it's
that.
like, we got to start. We need to start early. Expect show that you don't know what you want. This is how you can figure out what you want.
Right.
Figure out what you don't want first. How about that? Since you don't know
Well,
what
you
you
won't know what you don't want until you have a little experience under your belt.
there you
True
go, that
that.
part. There you
Yeah,
go, that part.
I like what Octavia said. She said, we have higher expectations of people than we have for ourselves. But that's where it comes to self-love,
Mm,
That's where you start understanding what self-love is all about.
mm.
But yes, what were you saying? Because I kind of like I wanted to I was in anyways.
It's all to the good. I be look, it's
Don't
all
you
good.
don't
That
you
same
say nothing. Okay, my brain be bouncing. You say nothing. Okay.
bounce. Let that brain bounce, baby, bounce.
But yes, kids, we got to talk to our kids a little different from what they taught us, right? I think we ain't telling y'all what to do. We're just saying consider.
Let's do something different. Let's
Let's
let's let's do something different and give them a chance. Let's give them a chance
help develop them.
of developing in a healthy manner. You got some people, man. These kids, they have such horrible experiences. They had these mental breakdowns, and they just like, damn, why? How did we allow the kid to take something so serious at that age? And so
And
we
they
just
commit
really
suicide. They commit suicide too.
suicide. They go fight. They go shoot up shit, stab up shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all types of shit. They become possessive. They become clingy. All these things, and
Beat up girls, beat up men. Oh man, I've seen some ratchet stuff going on these social media platforms. Girls beating up on poor guys. Girls getting black eyes, swollen face. It's just terrible. We need to pull this thing and start talking to our children a little different. A little different. Facts.
just a
Pull it
little.
up. All right, y'all. We about to bounce something on out of here. We gave y'all
Oh
55.
yeah, 55 minutes. So before we go, I want to show this right here. A set
Yo,
has the QRT on
move it
deck.
out the way.
Huh?
Fish fry. Who's taking the spot? We got to come up here and take fish fry.
Sophisticated blend made with non-genetically modified ingredients and pesticide-free. This gut support system is known for resetting the clock after one cup. Isn't it time for a reset?
It's time for a goddamn reset. That QRT, guys,
Quick
people are swearing by this
a
QRT.
powerful herbal concoction.
It's a
with
powerful herbal
sophisticated blend
concoction.
made with non-genetically modified ingredients
All
and
organic.
pesticide-free. This gut support system is known for resetting the clock after one cup.
I'm talking about people are seeing such dramatic results from just drinking this stuff, being consistent with it, and adding it to their regiments, adding it to their life. I mean, anybody would benefit from having QRT in their life. I'm betting. So you guys go and check that product out on 333healing.com. That's tree healing.com.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate that.
For sure. Say less. I'm Quiz the God.
I'm Goddess of Science.
That's Goddess. That's Goddess of Set. And this is Marital Mondays. Hope y'all was able to take from that. Again, hey, disclaimer: we are not no kind of professionals whatsoever. We are practicing love harmoniously, and we want to share the things that we are practicing with other people. We found them to work. People kind of like the kind of things that we're doing. We find things over the internet and in books, and then we put them to practice, and we experience them, and we share them with you.
And get beat up on our own time as well. So thank God for that.
Look, we going through it too. We living it too. So look, that's what it is, man. And that's perfect. Much love, y'all. I wish y'all much love and success out there with practicing things harmoniously.
Until next time.